This is just a content and a trigger warning for discussions of SA. I will have it on the screen and towards the end of the video, so please take note of timestamps, and if the content is too heavy for you, make sure you take care of yourself and click out of the video. And as with any Awakend video, we may discuss any aspects of weight loss, fat phobia, toxic. Hi! Fancy meeting you in this little old place. I'm Tish, and this is Echo Echo. Oh, we don't want that on. Is that going to go away? I don't know what's happening. Oh! We nearly had a teddy bear incident like the clown town. Okay, here's Mr. Cutie Pie. He was crying before. So we're gonna puppy intro. Do 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 do. Oh, now it's all bright because. All right, there we go. Hi. Who's got something that's making noise? Puppy. It's a puppy making noise. Not this one. He's good. Okay, we'll put you here with the three witches from Macbeth. All right. How are we going? Fancy meeting you here. Did I say that at the beginning? I don't remember. And it was about 20 seconds ago. How we going, everybody? Everybody. Yeah. I just found my next new obsession. It's called Selkie. And I was like, oh my god, these dresses, they're gonna be so expensive. And me thinking that they're not expensive when they are about $400, which is very expensive, but so pretty, so pretty. So that's going to be one of my goals for this year, to get one Selkie dress. I'm going to really try and step up the fashion at work, you know? I'm going to do it. I was following this creator on IG. Her name's Adelaide Hipster. And she is a fashion icon herself, but she does lots of referring, like, check out these accounts, etc., etc. And so my fashion in my eyeballs at the moment is just like, I want prints and I want color and I want ooh, I want it all. And which is so funny because when I first started working in this same town now, I used to only wear black. I wore black for like 3 years. Those are really funny. Okay, we're back. The Colleen video took me forever, like a week, but I'm used to like turn and burn, like let's go, pump it out, especially over Christmas, Tishmas, pumping it out. And so I felt really, really like lagged, and the summer holidays are over next week. Far out. I didn't get like half the stuff I needed done. Anyway, we're here. I started a second channel, alright. Guess what the content is? It's the dogs. Okay, so it's called the Snag Squad. And it's just them playing. It's just gonna be a really easy sort of channel. I like them. They make me smile. A little bit of serotonin for your nerves. And yeah. So we're here today to check back in on Awakend. I do need to do a video about Amare. Amare is a headache, okay, because they are telling people to get off their meds. Anyway, that's in progress. What's that? Is that a spider on my computer? Yes, so Amare and one specific person, and so I did want to check back in on Awakend. However, WFAB have was on my IG today. I laughed and laughed. The WFAB University is coming. What are we doing here, girls? What are you doing? And Jasmine and Dre just went to Montreal. So do you know what I guess where the team is at the moment? I imagine that the majority of their team is in Montreal, based on Sabrina's team. So it's interesting. I wonder how the Toronto team is going, because I know that Daniela took some people with her to Q Sciences. Q Sciences is a problem. God damn, there's just too many MLMs. We'll have a check-in with Willow and Lavender. Willow's so big. She's such a big deal. And I'll get Peach. I can't remember. I can't remember what happened to Peach's collar. But here's Peach. Hey, Miss Peach. Hi. Anyway, so the more anti-MLM creators, the better. Let's get them. There's so many MLMs. It's insane. Alrighty. Now, I am going to try and have more inclusive language. I know insane isn't something that we want to be using these days. It is ableist, so I'm going to try and clean up my language a little bit. But please bear with me while I get used to that. Alright. What do we got? It's Danielle. She's back for another mindset thing. She's doing the laws of business, which is interesting because she is currently getting sued and is also currently trying to sue New Year Life. So it's interesting that she's doing trainings based on that. Alright, let's go. Let's see what she's got to say.
Perfect. Welcome. Happy New Year, guys. Very excited. So tonight I've got on my other phone, don't ask me for this phone number. This is how I hide sometimes. So I have.
Thanks for showing us the reflection of your ring light and your tiny, tiny writing phone. But I got to tell you, after watching her training last time, and it was just a book page, I'm more happy with her face. Yeah, I just said that, didn't I? Okay, let's keep going.
Tonight, one of my favorite of the 11 laws is the law of thinking. It is what radically changed my life when I learned about as a man thinketh, so is he. And it is I want you to all be gentle with yourselves. Some of you are just learning this stuff at whatever age in life you are, whatever decade you're in. And I want you to come at this with a place of gratitude that at least you're getting this wisdom, right? It is such a beautiful place to be, to have an understanding. When you start having an understanding, or what I call a revelation. I had a revelation in my early 30s when it was brought to me, the information was given to me that I had the power to choose my thoughts, that I had control over.
Wow. I don't know. Just the way she's talking is like she's talking about the most important thing that we've ever learned in your life. That thinking is important. What? I know, right? But I don't know. Are you trying to get everybody hyped for the call?
And you know what? If I hadn't learned all these lessons and been through all this tough stuff in my life, this would have taken me out like that. You want to know why some of you haven't been taken out yet? Because you've learned so many lessons that when things happen, you're so battle hardened, you so believe in yourself now that nothing's stopping you from getting to the top of Awakend or any other company that you want to be in. I'm not going to just say Awakend. Let's take that out of it. No self-serving here. I'm going to say you can go to any company and succeed because you are absolutely in the know, and you know beyond know you are good enough. I can't tell you. I can look at you, Amanda, and say you're good enough. And we don't know each other yet, Amanda Fedison. I can tell you from female to female that I love you and you're beautiful and you're worthy. But until the day you believe it enough to the point where it sticks, that's when the magic takes place. But see, the people who've been molested, raped, verbally abused, rejected, abandoned, all that stuff does this. It piles on. And then all of a sudden, we don't even know how to get where we want to go because we can't even believe it anymore. Am I? Because these three things wouldn't happen, or that dad wouldn't have abandoned me, or my mom would have been a good mom. There's so many reasons why people hold themselves back. But believe me when I tell you, a shift in thinking will shift your entire life in ways you've never imagined. And it's that type of daily exposure to good thoughts. And it's a job. And it's a job, but every day working just a little, 15 minutes a day, you are going to radically transform this. What's crazy is I was thinking about the other day, I'm like, holy cow, 16 years of this, because I've been in the industry 13. I was doing this 3 years before I got in the industry. Why do you think I came in and broke a record in Rodney's first company? That's our CEO. I broke a record in his company. He forgot the other day. He said, Danielle did it in 10 weeks. I did it in 8 weeks, Rodney. A woman had 16 weeks to diamond. I came in and did it 8 weeks to diamond. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never been in network marketing. I was 750,000 in debt. I was losing my home. I had very little mindset training for 3 years, but enough, right? And I look back and I go, had I not started working on my mindset prior to getting in that company, would have never broken that record and would have never made the money I did. I can promise you that. You know why? Because every day in that business, I remember me saying this. I don't know how I'm getting to the top. I don't know how I'm getting out all this debt, but I know it's going to happen for me and I'm not stopping. I know people are going to say no. I know there's people are going to say yes. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to be coachable and I'm going to dig deep because I have no other choice. If I don't, I have to go back to being in debt, not being able to feed my kids, maybe lose my car, maybe lose my home. And I don't accept that. So therefore, I'm just going to go in and believe that this is meant for me and I'm going to bloom where I'm planted and I'm not stopping. I'm getting to the top. I don't know how, but I heard I don't have to know how, but I got to know I'm getting there. And I literally coached myself in that company and people would stand waiting for me to get off stage. Guys, it's still weird for me when people want to talk to me and hug me after stage like I'm just Danielle. But my husband always says, he goes, if they knew you at home, they know you really don't think of yourself like some rocks. I really don't. I think I know good stuff and I want to share it with you, but I don't walk around going, I'm Danielle Muley, like serve me. But I get people come off stage.
Oh my God. It's just a rave about fucking her, you know? Like, I'm the best. I was at this company and I got to the top of the compensation plan in 8 weeks. I am amazing. I'm the most amazing person. And how did I do it? I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to tell you that I did it because of my mindset. So then now, like, you think that you can do it because she's telling you about how her mindset was, even though it was a couple of years ago, you know? So she was pretty much free. Hang on. She was, you know, where did my brain just go? I don't know. My brain just stopped working. It was like, there's a donkey sleeping under a tree. Yeah, it's unrealistic what you're saying. People don't, you know, general people do not have that much success. And it's sad because she's giving them false hope. And, you know, she knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing.
I come off stage and they go, oh, I'm so happy to meet you. You changed my life. And I'm going, I did? Well, your story and you inspire me. And that's when I finally knew what I wanted to do with my life. I can help other people get out of a pit by getting myself out of my own, and I can make money, like doing what I love. Suzanne Summers said it best. This is why I love her. She said, find what you love and make it monetize it, meaning make you money. So you mean I get to stand on stage or get on a Zoom and teach people how to get out of their own way, get them to start winning in life, and I'll actually make money doing it? Better money than when I worked 9 to 5 and I had to deal with bosses and traffic and exhaust and tires need to be replaced and oil.
Okay, so pay something? No. Oh, I can't remember what she said. I'm tired and my brain hurts and I don't like it. All right, let's go back 10 seconds.
She said, find what you love and make it monetize it, meaning.
Look, you know, why can't something just be for the pure joy of it? I made a little bit of money when I had a youth theatre company. And when I am at work, I get to embrace like that artistic side. And so if you were to have a room where you're, no. I just think that you can have hobbies and you can have things you love doing, and they don't have to be monetized. They just don't. It's yucky. I don't want to hear really either of them talk again. But, Heidi's gonna Heidi. Heidi's gonna Heidi. Danielle's gonna Danielle. Heidi Powell is who I was also thinking of at that time.
Make it money.
Because she is a fitness slash wannabe fitness influencer, wannabe life coach, wannabe lots of things. And I am doing a video next on her because she sucks.
So you mean I can just stand on stage or get on the Zoom and teach people how to get out of their own way, get them to start winning in life, and I'll actually make money doing it? Better money than when I worked 9 to 5 and I had to deal with bosses and traffic and exhaust and tires needing to be replaced and oil change. I could do that from home. Sign me up. But it meant every day I worked on myself, knowing that the better I became, the more I healed myself, the more I got rid of that, the more I got my thinking right, the more I would be able to fill my plate and then go fill a bunch of other plates. That's what you're doing.
Danielle Meoli is the most enlightened human to exist in human existence. She is peak amazing woman. Of course. I don't know why I ever suspected that there was anything wrong.
In network marketing, don't let anyone fool you. The product side and the service side is really not what we're about. Our industry is a personal development business with some products or services included.
Well, you see, that's a bit of a problem, Danielle, because I think you'll find that the tea and coffee, my brain hurts. So on one of the classic, no, I'm gonna take a break. And how much have I done? Okay, I've done all right. I'm gonna take a break and make some dinner and feed the dogs. All right, we're back. Now I've got to do more of this. God damn it.
If you work on you and then you go teach other people how to work on them, they will develop to a level where they drop their mindset of negativity. They stop focusing on criticizing themselves and others. They see the abundance. People walk around me and they're like, this is what I do in the airport. Oh, there's a sea of people who do not know about Zenith yet. Look, and Scott, my husband, construction engineer, most closed-minded guy as far as like personal development until a few years prior to us reconnecting. You know what he says now when we walk through airports and stuff? He goes, these are all people who could potentially come into the company and be changed. I love that he sees that now. You know how I know he has an...
That's sick. People are just potential recruits. Everybody? Is that what she said? Do I need to slow it down? Like, I forgot how intense this was, and she just come out the gate at me. My God. Okay, we're gonna go back.
Abundance. People walk around me. There's a level where they drop their mindset of negativity. They stop focusing on criticizing themselves and others. They see the abundance. People walk around me and they're like, this is what I do in the airport. Oh, there's a sea of people who do not know about Zenith yet. Look, and Scott, my husband, construction engineer, most closed-minded guy as far as like personal development until a few years prior to us reconnecting. You know what he says now when we walk through airports and stuff? He goes, these are all people who could potentially come into the company and be changed. I love that he sees.
Okay, so she said something slightly different for her, that she sees a sea of people who could improve their life, or and he sees people who could join the company. That's interesting. Not necessarily a good thing. Let's not recruit the whole world, but also you can't, because there's babies, there's old people, there's anti-MLMers, there's people that you ignore, you know. Yeah, and you run out of people eventually, too. That's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. Also, this is skills and mindset training. What are you teaching us? What? What is this?
Now, you know how I know he has an abundance mindset now? Because he says that to me before I even remember to say it. We'll be at a mall and he goes, there's a sea of prospects here. That's how you know someone shifted. Instead,
No, that's a businessman. That's a shyster. That is a scammy McScammerson. That is somebody who wants to take advantage of everybody. Well done, Danielle. Got yourself a winner there. How ridiculous that that's what you see when you see a group of people. She doesn't think that this is a bad thing. She thinks it's good. And it's like, hello, you see people as dollar signs.
it's, I know I get all these people's phone numbers. That's a poverty mindset. None of these people want to know they're all broke. That's a poverty mindset. Does all this make sense? You'll know you've shifted when you're driving down the road and you go, there's 72 houses in this development. I bet you only 2 people know about Zenith. I bet you only 2 people here know about Awakend. Man, oh man, my team's going to gobble up the whole market. When you start walking around saying what I said in my last company, which was this, I'm going to talk to more people with my team faster than anyone else, and I'm going to lead the company. Guess what? It was hard, but it happened.
The company is suing. Yeah, okay. That's delusional. That's not positive thinking. That is fucking delusional. I cannot believe that she's like, everyone is either a prospect or a customer. Everyone. So you have 72 people 72 houses, right? There might be families with babies. But, like, I don't think that's a healthy way to be. I'm sorry, I just don't.
And one day I woke up and my sponsor called me and he goes, you little crap. And that's not the word he used. He goes, you just surpassed me in income. I said, stop being lazy, buddy. You're part-time. I'm full-time. He goes, there's no one I'd rather have surpass me. And instead of being called the #1 female earner, I was then called the #1 earner at that company.
All right. Did they also call you? You know, that's what you said in the I'm going to bleep that out, obviously, but C word. I've only used it once before. Autumn Calabrese, surprisingly, was the recipient of that word. Anyway, it's so funny that she's talking about her. She hasn't talked about her old company very much, you know, like only to sort of say, you know, I was top incomer, or I was this, that, and the other. Like, here's my things. But she's talking more specifically now about New Year Life. And she's also suing them because she thinks that they have tried to sabotage her. How? I mean, that's not very positive thinking, Danielle. You know? Huh. They've affected my income. That's negative thinking. I think you're going against yourself at this one. You know? It's just so interesting, you know. I can't imagine someone saying to her, oh, I'm glad it's you who's espousing me, because she's so unpleasant. Ugh.
And you know what? It had nothing to do with beating everyone else or making it past people. It was that I proved to myself that the girl who grew up on government cheese, food stamps, consignment clothes, a broken home, raped at 16, never really had a dad around. He was a raging alcoholic. The family was a mess. My mom trying, you know, just thank God my mom instilled faith in us and that she pushed us to, you know, she always taught me to persevere, but no one knew how to get out of their own way. And that girl got out of her own way. No one was picking me up. No one was coming to save me. And I'll tell you this because people don't want to hear.
Off. That might have been her story as a child, but she got married. And her first husband, they had 3 businesses together. 3. And they were successful. They survived. 2 of them survived the GFC. Global financial crisis, for those who are too young to know. But, you know, like, they had a gym. They had a beautician thing. Like, I don't know if it was a salon or if it ran out of the house or something, but she was the best because she was in a magazine. And she was the best at fucking eyelashes. Because of course she was. She's the best at everything. And then the husband, who was a contractor. And the husband's business, like, she told a story a couple of months ago about how her ex-husband is the subcontractor for her new house that she's working on right now. So, yep, you were poor once. It doesn't mean that you don't have the gift now. You know what I mean? Like, You got rich off recruiting. That's it. You can talk. You can convince people to join your team. That's it. You don't have any other skills.
But you need to hear it. No one's going to build your business for you. No one's going to help you get out of your mental rut. Well, I shouldn't say help. No one's going to do it for you, but we can help you. We can give you the tools. We can give you the knowledge. But it took me doing what I knew I had to do, which was pick up my mat and go. Don't sit in it, Danielle. You can continue to hate how you were raised. You can hate that you had a broken home. You can sit around feeling like a victim. And boy, was I a champ.
Yeah, let's mention it again. Mention it again. Mention it again. Mention it again. And her mum is like, she's hot. I've seen a picture of them, and like Danielle's gorgeous as well. She doesn't think so. But her mother looks very young. She's gorgeous. So I'm like, did she not get remarried? I'm sure that there was something in there, you know. And then her father and then the grandfather, they were in real estate. So she said it was a bust boom. So they were poor, but they also were rich at times. So, you know, it's hard to trust everything she's saying because she has talked about other things as well. And that's just the benefit I have by watching all of this crap and remembering when she told that story about when she was this age and blah, 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 blah. It's just, you know, people in the company are not going to pull her up on it because they just change the story in their head because that's what cognitive dissonance does. It's like, oh, I thought that she said she did this when she was younger. No, that mustn't have been right. This is right now. What she's telling me now is the right thing. See, like, that's what happens in cults. You change your thinking because the leader, they will constantly test that sort of thing. In Scientology, it'd be like, we have to clean, you know, all of this, and you have to stay up, and you can't sleep. And it's the same with the people in what was the name of it? I've done this before, but it's Shoko Asahara, and it was the Japanese gas attack. The cult that was involved in that, he would say they had to do crazy things like you have to do 100,000 push-ups, and they would try because they believed they could. And he just, all he needed to do as a cult leader was make them think that they had to try. And he knew that they were his creatures. So, you know, this is just still the Danelle show. Great. It worked for you. Can you tell us some more about like how to succeed in business? Because this is not helping.
But being a victim. Or I could drop the victimhood. I can drop it and I could go, it's not how I started in life. It's how I finish. I teach my kids. It's a famous saying in the Meoli household. We say to all 6 of our kids, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Finish strong, baby. I could cry thinking about it. I don't care how you start.
But she won't because she doesn't actually really cry.
Neither should you. Finish strong. Leave a legacy. Break the generational curses. Stop the madness in your head. You have power. You have so much inherent power.
You have powder? I'm sure she just said you have powder. Great. This is just a pep talk. Such a waste of time.
You have no idea. But it takes discipline daily. And yes, 16 years in, I have my moments. But I am so much further ahead than I used to be. I'm not looking for you to be perfect. I'm not looking to be perfect. We're looking to be better because we know better, we do better. And this year, 2023, can be super powerful for you if you start implementing new thoughts. That's it. And see everyone saying all these things, but let's talk about the real part of it.
So thought stopping, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, that great cult tactic. So she mentioned that people are talking about stuff in the chat. Hi, there's my face. What am I? I'm sorry. Awkward. Thank you for this. Hearing you say it out loud, I'm definitely in poverty mindset. Oh, shut up. Poor. Not the person, like. Oh. Go Susan's iPhone. EMDR therapy is helpful. What's EMDR therapy, I wonder? Let's have a look. Hey? EMDR therapy. Hopefully it's like something good. But please get therapy. Oh. I don't know if it will help. It sounds weird, actually. It is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy. So it is a mental health treatment technique. This method involves moving your eyes a specific way while you process traumatic memories. Does it work? Oh god. How common? There is some controversy surrounding why EMDR works. The creator of that, Francine Shapiro, later developed a working theory about how your brain stores memories. After accidentally discovering the eye movement technique she later used to create this therapy technique. However, that controversy does not extend to whether or not EMDR does work. Dozens of controlled trials and research studies have analysed EMDR and shown that it's effective. There you go. There you go. Huh. Okay, well, there you go. But I'm happy that somebody is recommending therapy. God has given me an unlimited supply. Where's Megan? She'd be fucking piping up by now. Alright.
I'm going to go in here. Thank you, Susan. Recognize your negative thoughts, reject them, which is delete, delete, cancel, cancel, and replace it with a positive thought or a scripture. And Susan, I don't know which Susan that is, but man, that's spot on. Spot on.
Maybe she
Judy,
was
you're
crying.
gonna make me cry. Judy wrote a direct message. I won't read it because it's personal. Love you, Judy. And I'll be praying for him. Let me know what his name is. So does this stuff make sense to you? Because I could preach it all day. And if it's just going to hit your mind and like it's going to bounce off you, 2024, next year, you'll be going, oh, I wish I started in 2023. Listen, there's stuff I did not want to face. There's stuff I didn't want to talk about. Sure. I've learned though, and this is another Joyce Meyer thing. If you want to get over something, you have to go through it, not around it. If you want to get over something, you got to go through it, not around it. I didn't talk about my rape for like 2 decades. I told 2 people right after it happened.
Oh my god. You can't do that. You can't put that on people. This is work training. This is training for work. Oh my god. That is terrible. That is awful. Like, that it happened at all. Obviously, the statistics, I think it's like 1 in 4 women have been, essayed, but the way she just dropped it then, I didn't think that's where she was gonna go. God damn, she's been in a lawsuit. She's been in legal trouble over her things. Like, oh, wow. It's not triggering for me, but I'm just like thinking of everybody who was on the fucking call. Why would you drop that then? See, and now, like, my empathy's gone, and now I'm like, why is she? Look at the face. She had a tear in her eye before, but now she looks like, wow. God, I'm scared to press play.
And I didn't bring it up again for a very long time because that was the thing I stuffed way down. That ugliness sat really low in my gut, and I just left it there because that was not something I was ready to handle. You want to know how it manifested in my life? We just talked about it on New Year's Eve with my best friend and her husband. It manifested in me having fear beyond fear.
That's who you talk about it with? Your best friend on New Year's night. Geez, what a fucking party they must have been at.
Of closed spaces. Anytime I was in an elevator with a man or in a closed room, when I worked in the hotel industry, I had to do a lot of touring. I was a corporate sales manager at a luxury hotel for 6 years. And I would have to go in. It could have been a 90.
What? She was a corporate manager at a hotel? When was this? Like, she just drops little details like this because she had the gym, she was a lash tech and beauty person, and then I thought she got into network marketing. This is something new.
old man with a cane, and if the door's closed and we were alone, I would have a physiological reaction because when I was raped, it was in a very small car, right?
PTSD. That's called post-traumatic stress disorder. Now you're describing it in depth. Me.
And I was attacked in that car, and that's where it happened. So my cells remembered that. I wasn't trying to think about it 20 years later. I would have a physiological, like almost like a panic.
Yeah, that's called PTSD, Danielle. My God. Obviously, she never went to therapy because they would have told her that.
And then when I'd be in a room and I'd have to show them a guest room, here are our king size, here are our water views, here's what your company when they come here, here's what the room selection, here's the suites. If the door shut, even with the thing, where you block the door from closing, I would still feel this rising panic. And then what I realized was I'm married all these years later. That happened when I was 16. Now I'm married at 31 and I have to go get my gun license because I have terror about when my husband's on the job. I have a delivery guy or someone fixing something in the house. I have to have a loaded gun in a drawer. You want to talk about something controlling me? Ask me what set me free. Ask me why I don't.
Danielle, do you realize that you're on a call with your staff, with your sales staff? This is not a confessional. This is not a therapist. This is not a relative. This is not a friend. Oh my God. Where is this? If you had have told me this is where we'd be at the end of this video, I would not have believed you. Yeah, right. What everybody's talking about their sexual assault. Oh.
Have to. I am a licensed gun owner for my own protection if I ever need it, but I don't touch guns. I don't like guns. But you want to know something? What set me free? I have no problem being in an enclosed space with a man anymore. I have no problem. Someone's in the house. I'm still smart. I'm not like, hey, you're still a stranger. We had a guy putting a treadmill in upstairs recently. I said, Scott, you go. You're home. I don't need to be in that room with him. I'm not saying be dumb, but why is my physiological reaction gone? Why do I feel safe? Because I changed my mind. How did I change my mind? I said, Danelle, you're safe.
That is the worst fucking advice to give ever. Go to therapy, for fuck's sake. Oh my God, I'm very angry right now. It's like, I finally have some empathy for you, and you...
Danelle, you're okay. Danelle, it's irrational, and you're going to have to do some work with a counselor if you can't.
That's where you should be.
Do it yourself, go do it with a counselor. I sat down with a counselor. Do you know what she said to me? She goes, you do all this coaching of everyone if you coach yourself on this. And I went,
you went to a counselor who just basically said that you can counsel yourself? What a counselor.
No. She said, you could coach yourself right out of this, right? She goes, you're just reliving it every time. You're reliving.
What sort of... That's counselor. Oh my God. And now she's making counseling and therapists look like they're fucking idiots, and that you can personally develop yourself out of PTSD. How fucking ridiculous is this?
Yeah, physically. She was terrible on your adrenals, right? She goes, you're probably tired all the time. Yup. Who's been, you don't have to say it out loud, but if you've been physically or sexually abused, some of you are still sitting in.
You can't ask that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Danelle. Oh my God. I've only been shocked like this a couple of times watching network marketers. Hearing that lady's story when Elamir. My God. Oh, I am so scared to press the fucking space bar.
And have physiological reactions, am I right? To things that happen when you were little. And I could cry thinking about it for people who've been through it.
Please don't.
Because you never really came to terms with the fact that you are safe now. You're okay.
You're at work.
I used to think, well, I don't think it's going to happen again, but I'm going to be ready to tear eyeballs out. So I was on high alert, as if it's really going to happen. You set yourself up with your thinking, right? Now I have peace. And peace comes from thoughts that are focused not on what could go wrong, but on how good and safe and right things are. I actually say to myself now, you are safe, you are healthy, you are okay. God is with you. You are good. I don't need a man next to me for me to feel safe anymore. I don't need a gun in a drawer next to me for me to feel safe. I feel good. And it's the only thing that has changed is my mind. And I think for me, what I want for you guys this year is to get set free of whatever thoughts are holding you back. And it doesn't have to be something like I'm sharing. Let me tell you, that held power over me for decades.
This is the first time I've really seen her cry like this. But no one should be sharing like that. Not even you, Danielle. Like, yep, there's strength in sharing your story, but not like this.
Decades. And so many of you are going to make me cry when I read the comments. The number of people who have been through these types of traumas breaks my heart. But instead of us sitting around feeling sorry for ourselves, and I'm not saying you can't grieve it, sure you should. But once I made peace, once I forgave the man, not to his face, the guy who did it, once I forgave myself, which was hard to do, and once I said to myself, you are safe and you are okay, that changed everything. And when you start to say to yourself, I am worthy of finances to be overflowing, guess what? The money shows. Most of you have a poverty mindset because you've been programmed for poverty in your bloodline. Some of you...
Boom. She's back on. We'd switched off. We switched off me, her, wounded her. And then we went straight back into business. Wow.
Don't want to hear this. Well, guess what? There's a lot of money out there. As Danny Johnson said one day, and I didn't understand it at her conference at first. She goes, there's money everywhere. Guys, look at the floor. I'm like, there's no money. Because if there was, I'd be picking it up. I went there with like $100 in a protein bar that weekend and was sitting up there going, what the heck is she talking about? She goes, there's money everywhere. I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden, we're like, what is she? She's crazy. No, she was right. And I'm going to tell you today, there's money everywhere. There's enough money to feed every homeless person on this planet, buy him a house and then some. But there is a consciousness of poverty out there. You'll see it in neighborhoods. There's a consciousness of wealth. There's a consciousness of...
No. No. Okay? Poverty is systemic, okay? It's legislated. People are disenfranchised, and especially in America, where voting is not compulsory, okay? You are definitely, legislated. The poor remain poor. The minorities remain without power, and the colonizers are at the top. So it's got nothing to do with mindset. Nothing. Oof.
Abundance, and there's a consciousness of poverty. Which one are you in alignment with? Because there's one or the other. There's no gray. You either believe good things are coming and there's abundance everywhere and that you are safe and that, like the Bible says, you don't have to think about where your food comes from. To the birds, to the animals. I used to focus all the time. How am I going to feed my kids? How am I going to pay for the propane? How am I going to get new tires? My husband needs new shoes. Panic, fear, right? We sit like...
Once again, it's easy for you to say that when you don't have to worry about those things. Don't worry about where your food comes from. Okay, and you wanna tell that to somebody in a food desert? Yeah, maybe. You wanna tell that to somebody who doesn't eat so their kids can eat? Don't. I was listening to. I was watching Sam D's the beginning of her response to the Q Sciences. One of the many Q Sciences Zooms that they did over the last couple of weeks because they poached a whole bunch of leaders from It Works, and then they were doing opportunity Zooms, the top two. And, I've mainly kept an eye on Kristen, so I haven't really seen Brittany much. And I knew of her, but I've seen a few more Zooms from Brittany. And Brittany tells a story about how she was in Plexus and she didn't feel okay about recruiting, so she didn't recruit and she didn't work her business for a year. No, she said she wasn't happy with how things were. She didn't quit, but she didn't work her business. So she took wages with a big team and just sat on it for a year. And then she went to Q Sciences and took the team, and she's the top earner at Q Sciences. And she just achieved a rank where she's going to be on $160,000 a month. No one needs that much money, honestly. But she tells a story about how she hit rock bottom when she was working her Plexus business, and her husband was working as well. So 2 incomes. And they were in foreclosure. They were, no, they weren't in foreclosure, but she said, that it was rock bottom, and she hit rock bottom when her daughter was asking her mother for dog food because they didn't have enough money for dog food. And that was, the lowest of the low. And I'm like, were you homeless? Was everybody else still eating? Like, really? That's your lowest of the low. You weren't homeless. You both were working. I understand that things might have been tight. Like, I'm not saying that she wasn't struggling, but I'm like, yeah, it doesn't sound as drastic as some other people's rock bottoms. And yeah, it sounded pretty privileged to me. Uh, you know, I don't think these people would understand poverty, the type of poverty that really exists for somebody who has to live in their car, even though they're employed, even though they work. So that all they see is somebody to exploit. That's money there. Oh, if only I can get him in my business, So these top leaders.
There's not enough. There's enough. And I'm not saying that because of what I earned today. I had to say this to myself before the money ever showed. You want your team to grow? I need you to get off tonight and go, I'm going to say what Danelle taught me. My team is growing all over the world. My team at Awakend is growing. I have 2 team legs and they're going nuts everywhere. They're not nuts. Let's not say nuts. We don't want to call in any nuts. I always like throw a little joke in when I get, but we're calling in the biggest leaders, producers. We're going to have units of Zenith and all the other products coming out this year are going to go everywhere in your group. Your group is prosperous. Your group is powerful. And I don't care if you have 2 people right now. Say it now. Speak it now. And the more you speak it, the more your subconscious mind grabs onto it. And eventually you feel that everything is flowing and then you see the flow. It never goes the other way. I want you to know this. The flow doesn't come after you make it big. The flow comes because you spoke it big. Speak those things that are not as if they are. Romans 4:17. Another way of saying is call those things that are not as though they are, or speak it into existence. Speak life. Now, if something you say doesn't come to pass, which a lot of things I've said haven't, you know what I say? It's because there's something better waiting for me. And it's just the way God's got it planned for me. And I'm going to trust that better's coming. If a door doesn't open, while all the doors in the halls are closed, the hall is closed, I don't go, oh gosh, I go, one door is going to open. It's going to be a better door.
Yeah, that's convenient. But if the door that isn't opening for them is recruiting, what if it leads them away from the company?
Watch, make a deal. Let's make a deal. Remember the big goose egg behind the thing? I'm dating myself, right? But that whole thing would open up and it'd be a car and like a new kitchen, and then the other one would go, and it'd be like an old car that was a totally broken down car. Think about it. Are you sitting there going, nothing's happening? That way of sitting on, my team isn't growing, people are quitting. That is going to call in more of that. But when you say it's okay for him to go, a whole new crew is coming, my team's growing everywhere, we're going to launch more products, we're going to open countries together, and this thing is going to the moon. That attitude makes teams explode in the midst of problems. Life will always throw you problems, even when you make big money. So what are you going to speak? Are you going to speak what you want to see? Or are you going to speak what you're seeing? Because if you repeat what you see in reality, you're going to call more of that in. That is the law of thinking. I want to high five myself tonight. That is the law of thinking in a nutshell. All right. I'm late for the VIP call. If you're an elite member, I will see you on that page. I love you. Have a great week.
Oh, that was what the other call was. All right. Thank God that's over. Oh my God. Anyone out there who's been in a network marketing company, have you tried this freaking? I will be a top earner, blah blah blah. Like Dre, I will do a speech at GoPro, and I will do this, and I will be a top income earner, and blah 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 blah. Did it work? I mean, anyone watching my video is going to be like saying, no, it didn't work. I just wonder because I don't think I've ever really done affirmations as such. Yeah. Okay. If look, hopefully I didn't lose a whole bunch of people when she started talking about the what. That was shocking. I'm floored. That this was I think it was the first one of the year, or it was the last one of no, it was the first one of the year. And yeah, I'm pretty floored by that. Very inappropriate. It's awful that happened to her. It sucks that our counselor did not help because she can't heal herself. you can process it, obviously, but yeah, a counsellor is going to do a therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. They're going to be able to help you out more than that. And I think it was really dangerous for her to say that to everybody because they're going to think that they don't need to seek professional help. Thankfully, somebody did mention the EMDR, which seems like it's okay. But real therapy is the answer. So, look, I don't know. It's the same old with her, where you just get stories about her and how she got somewhere, and she says, "This is what worked for me. All right, bye." And it's like, there's 1%. Successful people in the network marketing industry is 1%. It can't all work for us. you know? These poor people. I mean, some of them aren't poor people. Megan knows what she's doing. That one, what's her name? Ashley, who's like, don't be rude. Don't be rude. You have to say hello. Yeah. There are some people in there who are not very good people. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here. I think this video is gonna be long, and I have to go through and get rid of the swear words as well as do a major trigger warning. All right. I'm just shocked. Yes, but she'll be back. Got to do some actual work for, work. But yeah, have a good one, everybody. Please like and subscribe. And check out the dog's channel. I'll try and remember to put a card in. Yeah, just something a little bit fun, a little bit more lighter. Because, the anti-MLM space sometimes gets depressing. But we live to fight another day. All right. I'll see you next time, people. Take care and be a good human. And don't disclose your trauma unless you've actually asked people to. But not to your work colleagues on a Zoom call. All right. Okay. Thanks. Goodbye.